Welcome back to Ohio Valley Conference Media Day, the 2022 edition. Tennessee State University front and center here as we bring you Media Day presented by Delta Dental. No introduction probably needed for Eddie George, Devon, Starling, James Green. And guys, help me, because without your numbers on your back jerseys, I'm really tough with that. But appreciate all of you joining us today. Hey, first time we've got to do this in person with you, Eddie. So you've done so much in your life and in your career, but what was one season coaching at the FCS level as a head coach like?
Wow, it was, in a nutshell, it was exciting. It came at a time when I needed this more probably than they needed me. Okay. I just didn't realize it. My whole career, from playing football to after the game, from developing businesses to acting on Broadway to doing all types of stuff, I believe has prepared me for this moment. It was a pathway to my purpose. And I am actually the student in all of this. They teach me a lot about, in terms of what type of coach I need to be to them, what they need, their in terms of who they want to become, their purpose, and guiding them and developing them. And my number one job is to add value to them as men. And by a byproduct of that, I think I'm going to get an outstanding football player. So my first year was really just about understanding, the needs, the wants, what was needed, both in the administrative side, but also from the team's perspective. And now it's we're developing, hopefully a championship type of atmosphere.
How you've had some staff changes that have gone on since then. Have you gotten that remedied? Got the right staff you think in place now? Is that always a work in progress?
Well, staff is always going to change. And listen, this business is about recruiting, development, and retention, and not just from the football side, but in terms of your staff. So that's a revolving door. So I believe that with every iteration, every staff that comes in, we're getting better. I have an understanding now of, okay, what's needed, the type of tone that I need in a certain position. So it was my first year last year, and it was a very successful year in terms of, hey, this is what we need. This is where we have to go. We've won a few ball games. Now to go to the next level, this is what I want. So I feel like we have the staff in place for us to be successful this year.
Devon, welcome. Appreciate you coming and joining us today, joining Coach and James. Talk a little bit about your journey. Wasn't far from the Middle Tennessee area to Tennessee State. So kind of talk about that.
I could say it's like it haven't been really a big change because, I know the streets here. So basically I can drive and go as I please because it ain't like a new city to me. I've been here for a minute. So I can say the change was really for me was a coach staff going from Coach Reed to Coach George and just a lot of stuff changing. Because I grew up. Rod Reed was the coach for at least 20 years, and I was here. Like his era, I watched up growing up play, and then for it to change when I get here. So I could say just being a part of a new foundation that's being laid, and just seeing how everything's going the right direction. Everybody talks about old TSU. Well, we trying to get back there. We trying to make something new here. So I can say that.
How much fun is it to be coached by, as a running back, to be coached by one of the greatest running backs of all time, period?
It ain't fun. Let's say that.
Please expound on that. That might be the line of the day.
There's a lot of dummy hit, a lot of ball. It's a lot. I feel like just him expecting like greatness out of everybody, especially you being under Coach George, seeing what he done did in the league, see what he done did at Ohio State. So just him expecting a lot out of every running back, not including me. Like even everybody he comes, like he coached the same. He coached a walk-on the same as he coached me. He expect everybody to just like display effort and give everything they got. Like it don't matter what position that you are in.
To say he's got some credibility is an understatement, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the football. Up and down season for you last year. For TSU and for the entire team, the first-year coaching process that Coach George talked about. What do you feel, James, like you need to deliver from the defensive standpoint to make this team successful?
Leadership and just continue to hold my team accountable. day after day, I'm realizing it's not just about me no more. It's not about what I do on the defensive side. It's about what we do off the field, and just continue to hold each other accountable and keep stacking our days, keep putting in work, and continue to chase the goal we set for the team.
So I had to look at your bio again, and then I did a little research. Why would you leave being a DB and go be a linebacker when you got to get these two running backs?
I mean, change is always good. I always like physical contact, so it wasn't a bad change to put me closer to the box. And then being able to take my abilities from playing DB to playing linebacker, it makes me versatile. It makes me be able to go in the box, outside the box, makes me be able to cover tight end, running back, slot. So it just makes me even more versatile at my position.
How was that decision made? Did you go to the secondary coaches? Did you go to the D coaches or
Yeah, I didn't have a choice. I had to move to linebacker.
All right.
So, yeah.
That's a
Good
delicate
linebacker too.
Yeah, and doing extremely well. I wanted to talk a little big picture with you, Eddie, for just a moment. You and Deion Sanders have become the face of FCS football. This seems like HBCU.
Who's that?
Yeah, the
Dan?
guy. The
I'm
guy
sorry.
the guy.
Coach Prime.
Oh, I'm not supposed.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, we'll send this to him too. What a great mantle to kind of take up, and obviously you coaching at the HBCU school, at an HBCU school in the FCS ranks. Kind of talk a little bit about it. You two talk a lot about that. Do you two feel like you've got kind of I don't want to call it a mission, but kind of.
Oh, it is a mission.
Okay.
No
right
question. Prior to me taking the job, Coach Prime was one of the people I reached out to understand, what the day-to-day was, what I was walking myself into, among other coaches, just to get a well-rounded perspective. And it's bigger than the wins and losses. It's bigger than just having accolades. It's more of a mission to enhance a program. We had dinner last night, and we were talking about just the bones, the potential of TSU, that it can thrive at a high level. I mean, it's thrived before. We've had success before, but it must be sustainable. And we're the forefathers to help bring that to fruition. And so when I'm gone 50 years from now, this thing is still moving along. So this is just my part in terms of building a foundation, and we have to build it on rock. We talk about that a lot. It has to be built on a strong foundation, on faith, on trust, on wisdom, on integrity, and not just a flash in the pan. Because we were seeing, a lot of attention go to HBCUs, but it just can't be for 2 or 3 years. It's got to be for the next 40 years. And we've got to put more money into the infrastructure, more money into the maintenance, more money into facilities, into nutrition, into all the things that can help our kids be successful. I'm going to brag on these two young men. They're more than just football players. They're inspiring entrepreneurs.
We need it.
Yeah, no, the Star he has his own brand. James has his own brand. You can check him out on social media. And we're looking, for more deals for them in the NIL space, not just to endorse somebody else's product, but to promote and build their own product. One of our pillars is entrepreneurship, and we take that very serious at Tennessee State. So it's bigger to me than just, OVC championships and national championships. I want them to have national championships as fathers, as husbands, as businessmen, and so forth. So that's what this calling is, and God has put me in this position to do just that.
Great role model to do that. So, Star, you were talking about, the streets, everything here in Metro, in Metro, right?
Yeah, the right.
Let me.
Streets.
What was
Broadwalk? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Park Place.
What was the response when you told some of your classmates, "I'm going to play ball at TSU"?
What you mean by that?
In terms of you could have probably gone to some other schools, but you wanted to stay home. You wanted to go to TSU.
Well, I started off my first year. I was at the University of Memphis, and then I played a year there. And just transferring home, just being home, I just felt like it wasn't right for me just being when I like transfer portal. I could have easily like went FBS again, but I decided to come home because being close to family mean a lot to me. Having my mom and my little sisters and them, and I feel like they depend on me a lot. So just being around, helping my mom out. So that kind of like played like a factor in me when I transferred, and I was just like, I'll just come home because it's not matter. It's like football is everything and all that, but like it's just about family who helped you get there, and they always been a very like strong like people in my life. So I just felt like just coming home, helping them and them helping me, because it was sometimes going to Memphis not playing that it kind of takes you to a dark place because you like, am I really good at football? Can I really play? And I just feel like coming home, that really helped me, them support me, being able to just go home and not just making a phone call. I can just drive 30 minutes up the road and just sit down and have that talk with her. And like, she's a very strong woman that just kept me on track and just kept me pushing, saying, you got this, and it just kept going. And I just love being in Nashville. Ain't no place like home.
James, tell us your story en route to TSU.
Yeah, coming out of high school, I was a 3-star. I had a lot of FBS schools, but TSU felt like home. It was nothing like it. The atmosphere is great. The support system is amazing. So this was the choice. I knew God sent me here for a reason, and I knew I was going to take my little brother with me. So it was kind of a duo decision, a package deal. So I had to come to TSU. It just felt like family, felt like home.
Coach will know this, but I did get the wrap sign. But I want to know your just thoughts on the schedule for this upcoming season.
Taking one game at a time. I think the first opponent is us. That's in the next couple of weeks. We've got to be challenging them to be the best player they can be, the best teammate they can be, and the best team we can be. And then we have 11 opportunities to earn the right to play in the playoff and to try to win the OVC. So, our first 3 games, they got our attention. I mean, we got 2 preseason top 25 teams and that team down south, and we go out to Eastern Washington, and we have MTSU, then we have a bye week, and then we'll reassess where we are there. I mean, every week we've got to grow, regardless if we win or we lose. We don't lose, we run out of time, but we've got to learn, we've got to grow, we've got to really sharpen that week by week. So I'm excited about it, but the first opponent on our schedule is us.
Okay, great. Thanks, all 3 of you. James Green, I'm going to go with star now. Is that coach designated, or has that always been there?
Do you see the star right here on his chest? I think it's all him. That's his star. So that's his
Fair
name.
E10K right there, man. Oh, got it like him.
Thanks to all 3 of you. Tennessee State, what a great group, and we thank all of them for joining us. We've got much more. This is the Ohio Valley Conference Media Day Football Edition 2022, presented by Delta Devon.